Hello, everybody. today we will today we will review. That actually sounds better. We will review instead of we will be reviewing because I always seem to get my tongue tied when I say that. So today we will review is my new intro, I guess. The movie Mean Girls from 2004. I hadn't seen this movie in quite a while, so I will say off the start that a lot of the jokes in this movie definitely wouldn't fly today due to the fact that everybody just seems to, I guess, yeah, I don't know what happened over the years. It just seems like everybody kind of gets more offended than they used to about certain things that are said because there were some jokes that made me laugh, but that's just because yeah, nothing really gets under my skin as far as jokes go. So jokes are jokes. I mean, sometimes certain people do go overboard with their jokes, but I mean, this was just good comedy as far as that goes for its time period. It definitely wouldn't work today, and I don't think that. Yeah, this movie just probably wouldn't be as impactful today as it was 16 years ago. Oh my God, it sounds so crazy to say that it's been 16 years since this movie was made. So, as many of you know who have seen the movie, I didn't really realize how many people were actually in this. I'd forgotten about Amy Poehler being in it, being the mother to Rachel McAdams' character. So Lindsay Lohan is in this. Her name is Katie, but everybody calls her Caddy because they mistake her name in the beginning. So basically, she was homeschooled her whole life, and then her parents took this trip to Africa due to her mother's job, and then I believe it was the funding that was cut off, so they ended up moving back to the States, and then her parents put her into a normal high school where she becomes friends with these two students who decide that they are going to take down Regina George, who is Rachel McAdams' character. They call them Rachel McAdams' group, or Regina George's group, the Plastics. She's basically the leader. Amanda Seyfried's also in this movie, and I can't remember the name of the other girl that plays the fourth member of the Plastics group. But maybe that's just because I don't know her as well. I know her name is in there. I recognize the name, but I can't remember it because it's not. I don't know what else she's really been in since this movie, so I can't really tell you any more about her acting career. But as far as the other three go, I mean, I know Lindsay Lohan has had her issues, but anyhow, let's get back into this. So they decide that they are going to take down the Plastics group, so they send Katie in to basically just talk to Regina and then report back to them with whatever she said. Eventually she just, sorry, something's popping up in my Netflix. Eventually she becomes what she basically hated in the beginning, or was told to hate. So she ends up becoming a plastic herself, and then she ends up being a worse person than she was when she started. But I guess basically when you have, I wouldn't even say that her friends in the beginning were really great people for putting her up to this. They're just as much to blame for who she became as herself, I would say. I mean, she didn't have to go along with it. She could have said no, and this movie would have been totally different. But she went along with it, and it ended up coming back to bite her right in the ass, I guess. Basically, because she became what they didn't want her to become, and she ended up hating the person she had become because of it. And basically the whole movie kind of revolves around this book called The Burn Book that the Plastics create, basically just digging into every other girl in the school, but no other girl knows about it. And then finally, after the plastics kind of sabotage one another from the inside, basically, Regina ends up gaining weight because Katie gives her these bars and tells her that they help her lose weight. And then her new boyfriend finds out that she's been eating them, and he tells her that he hated them because the coach would always give them these bars when they wanted to gain more weight. And so then she writes something. Regina writes something about herself in the book, and then she brings the book to the principal of the school, and then she starts spreading photocopies of the papers around, and all of the girls go crazy due to this. And yeah, the movie just kind of gets a little chaotic from there. So, but yeah, basically Katie's trying to get together with Regina's ex-boyfriend. She does succeed, but not quite in the way she wants to, because eventually she has to fess up to everything, and he just kind of likes her, ends up liking her more for the person she was than the person she was trying to become in the end, because she realizes what she's done is wrong, so she makes up for it by apologizing and fessing up to what she's done, her wrongdoings, I guess is the right word I'm looking for there. But yeah, the comedy-wise, this movie was good. I forgot how funny some of the parts were, and just there was a little bit of slapstick comedy, I suppose, where they're walking down the hall and Lindsay Lohan's character falls in the trash can, and of course, like the one scene where they think they're going to sabotage Regina by cutting holes in her shirt to reveal her bra, and then it ends up just everybody starts doing it, all the girls, because everybody wants to be like Regina George, right? Because she's the popular one, so everybody follows whatever trend she has, and they have all these rules at their lunch table as to what they wear on certain days, and if they break those rules, they can't sit together. And Regina tells them what she does and doesn't like, but she lies about it all the time anyway. So in the end, none of the people in this movie were really 100% good. They all had their own reasons for doing what they did, and it definitely backfired on all of them, even though they were able to forgive each other in the end. Yeah, nobody was really the good, quote-unquote, good guy in this movie. Everybody ended up being bad, and then they had to fess up to what they had done to turn it around. I think the most probably iconic scene in this movie is definitely the dance scene, because her parents show up and they're all dressed up in these what's the word I'm looking for? I know they use a lot of terminology in this movie, and when I was younger, I didn't even understand what half of it was, because I would have been 11 when this movie came out, and I think I watched it around that time because it was one of the more popular movies, obviously, that year, because Lindsay Lohan was she still is a well-known actress, I guess, today, but she hasn't been in too much that I know of lately. She did make a little bit of comeback, a few years ago, I believe, or maybe a little bit longer than that, but anyhow. So I guess they're kind of dressed, let's just go with scantily clad, and some of the dance moves make her parents go like, holy, like, what have we put our daughter into? But one of the rumors she made was about Tina Fey's character. Why can't I think of her name? Anyhow, the rumor was that basically she pushed drugs, and that's the big rumor that she ends up having to fess up for, and so she has to go to this mathlete thing. They end up winning, so that's kind of where her turning point was. All the evil she did was kind of made up for by doing a few good things in the end of the movie. And so she turned her life around and became friends with the two people again from the beginning. Even though I wouldn't say they were the best of friends, but hey, I mean, if you can forgive one another for what you've put each other through, then that just makes you, I guess in the end, she was kind of a bigger person because of it. But anyhow, I think that's all I have to say other than rating this film. I would give it uh, I would say a 7 out of 10. Uh, just because it wasn't completely comedy the whole way through. But, I mean, and it did have some flaws, I suppose. I can't really think of any off the top of my head right now, but it's not like my favorite movie. So yeah, I would say, but it did give me enough laughs, and I would definitely go back and watch it again. I wouldn't say I'd watch it frequently, but yeah, maybe in a few years I'll go back and watch it again just for the nostalgia. So yeah, 7 out of 10 I would say is a pretty good rating for me for this movie. That's how I feel anyway. And I guess that's it. Um, so please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye for now.